We live in an age of unprecedented distraction. From the moment we wake up, our phones buzz with notifications. Our inboxes overflow with emails. Our messaging apps ping with urgent requests. We move from task to task, constantly switching our attention, convinced that this frantic, hyper-connected state is what productivity looks like. We wear our busyness as a badge of honor, believing that if we are always responding, always available, and always doing something, we are being effective. But what if this entire paradigm is a lie? What if the very habits that make us feel productive are actually destroying our ability to do meaningful, high-value work? In his groundbreaking book Deep Work, computer science professor Cal Newport challenges the modern obsession with constant connectivity. He argues that the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task is not just a valuable skill in today's economy, it is the ultimate superpower. He calls this skill deep work. Deep work is defined as professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive capabilities to their limit. These efforts create new value, improve your skill, and are hard to replicate. Contrast this with shallow work. Shallow work consists of non-cognitively demanding, logistical-style tasks, often performed while distracted. Think of answering routine emails, attending status meetings, filling out expense reports, or scrolling through social media. Shallow work does not create much new value in the world, and it is easy to replicate. The problem is that most knowledge workers today spend the vast majority of their time doing shallow work, while deluding themselves into believing it is important. Newport introduces a profound and urgent hypothesis. The ability to perform deep work is becoming increasingly rare at exactly the same time it is becoming increasingly valuable in our economy. As a result, the few who cultivate this skill, and then make it the core of their working life, will thrive. They will become the elite of the modern workforce. The rest will be left behind, replaced by automation or outsourced to cheaper labor. To understand why deep work is so valuable, we must look at the economics of the new workplace. There are three groups who will thrive in the coming decades. The first group is the high-skilled workers, those who can work intelligently and creatively with complex machines, like artificial intelligence and advanced algorithms. The second group is the superstars, those who are the absolute best at what they do, because technology now allows their work to be distributed globally. The third group is the owners, those with capital to invest in these new technologies. To join the first two groups, you must master two core abilities. First, the ability to master hard things quickly. Second, the ability to produce at an elite level, in terms of both quality and speed. Both of these abilities depend entirely on your capacity for deep work. When you are learning a complex new skill, or producing a high-quality piece of work, you cannot do it while checking your phone every 10 minutes. You need intense, uninterrupted focus. Newport provides a simple but powerful formula to illustrate this: high-quality work produced equals time spent multiplied by intensity of focus. If you spend 4 hours on a task, but your intensity of focus is low because you are constantly distracted, your output will be mediocre. If you spend 2 hours on the same task with absolute, ruthless intensity, your output will be exceptional. Furthermore, deep work is essential because of a psychological phenomenon known as attention residue. Coined by researcher Sophie Leroy, attention residue occurs when you switch from task A to task B. Your attention does not immediately follow. A residue of your attention remains stuck thinking about the original task. If you are writing a report, and you quickly check an email, and then return to the report, your brain is still partially processing that email. Your cognitive capacity is diminished. Every time you switch tasks, you leave a little bit of your brain power behind. By the end of the day, if you have been multitasking constantly, your brain is essentially running on empty. Deep work eliminates attention residue by keeping your focus locked on a single target for an extended period. Beyond the economic and cognitive benefits, deep work is also crucial for your neurological and psychological well-being. Neurologically, when you focus intensely on a specific skill, you fire the relevant neural circuits in your brain. This triggers the release of a fatty substance called myelin, which wraps around those neurons and insulates them, making the circuits fire faster and more efficiently. Deep work literally rewires your brain to be better at the thing you are focusing on. Psychologically, deep work leads to a state of flow, a concept popularized by psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. Flow is a state of complete immersion in an activity, where time seems to disappear, and you experience a deep sense of enjoyment and fulfillment. You cannot achieve flow while multitasking. Flow requires a clear goal, immediate feedback, and a challenge that perfectly matches your skill level. Deep work provides the exact conditions necessary for flow. Therefore, a life filled with deep work is not just more productive, it is inherently more satisfying and meaningful. So, how do we cultivate this rare and valuable skill in a world designed to distract us? Newport outlines 4 core rules for developing a deep work practice. Rule number 1: work deeply. The problem with relying on willpower to focus is that willpower is a finite resource. It depletes throughout the day. If you have to constantly fight the urge to check your phone or browse the internet, you will eventually fail. The solution is not to rely on willpower, but to build rituals and routines that minimize the friction of starting deep work. You must make deep work a regular, habitual part of your life. Newport identifies 4 different philosophies for integrating deep work into your schedule. The first is the monastic philosophy. This involves completely cutting yourself off from shallow obligations. Think of a novelist who retreats to a cabin in the woods for months, with no internet and no phone. This is highly effective for some, but impractical for most people who have meetings, emails, and family obligations. The second is the bimodal philosophy. This involves dividing your time into clearly defined blocks. For example, you might spend the entire summer focusing solely on deep research, and the rest of the year doing teaching and administrative work. Or, you might dedicate 2 full days a week to deep work, and the other 3 to shallow work. The key is that during your deep work blocks, you are completely unreachable. The third, and perhaps most practical for most people, is the rhythmic philosophy. This involves establishing a daily habit. You commit to doing deep work at the exact same time every single day. For example, you might wake up at 5 a.m. and write for 2 hours before the rest of the world wakes up. By making it a daily rhythm, you remove the need to decide whether or not to do it. It just becomes what you do. The fourth is the journalistic philosophy. This involves fitting deep work into any available gap in your schedule. If you have a free hour between meetings, you immediately drop into deep work. This requires a high level of mental agility and is usually only suitable for those who are already highly experienced in deep work. Whichever philosophy you choose, you must establish a grand gesture. This means committing a significant amount of time, energy, or money to your deep work. J.K. Rowling checked into a luxury hotel to finish the final Harry Potter book. Bill Gates takes think weeks twice a year, retreating to a cabin in the woods with nothing but books and papers. These grand gestures signal to your brain that this work is important, making it easier to achieve deep concentration. Rule number 2: embrace boredom. Deep work requires intense concentration. But if your brain is accustomed to constant stimulation, it will panic when you ask it to focus. We have trained our brains to expect a new hit of dopamine every time we feel a moment of boredom. We pull out our phones while waiting in line at the grocery store, while sitting on the toilet, while watching television. We are terrified of being bored. Newport argues that to master deep work, you must rewire your brain to be comfortable with boredom. You must stop taking breaks from distraction, and start taking breaks from focus. If you are working deeply for 90 minutes, and you feel the urge to check social media, you must resist. But more importantly, when you take a break, do not immediately pull out your phone. Let your mind wander. Let yourself be bored. He suggests a practice called productive meditation. This involves taking a period of physical activity, like walking, jogging, or driving, and focusing your attention on a single professional problem. When your mind wanders to other thoughts, you gently bring it back to the problem. This trains your brain to resist distraction and maintain focus, even when your body is in motion. By embracing boredom, you strengthen your attention muscle, making it easier to enter a state of deep work when you need to. Rule number 3: quit social media. This is perhaps the most controversial rule, but it is essential. Newport does not argue that social media is inherently evil. He argues that for most knowledge workers, the benefits of social media are vastly outweighed by the costs. Most people use what Newport calls the any-benefit approach to tool selection. If a tool offers any potential benefit, they use it. Twitter helps me stay updated on industry news, or Instagram helps me keep in touch with distant friends. But this approach ignores the negative impacts. Social media fragments your attention, creates a constant low-level anxiety, and consumes hours of your time that could be spent on deep work. Instead, Newport advocates for the craftsman approach. A craftsman only adopts a tool if its positive impacts substantially outweigh its negative impacts. You must apply this ruthless calculus to your digital life. Identify the core factors that determine success and happiness in your professional and personal life. Then, look at your digital tools. Does Facebook substantially contribute to those core factors? For most people, the answer is no. He suggests a 30-day social media detox. For 30 days, completely stop using all optional social media. Do not announce you are leaving, just stop. After 30 days, ask yourself 2 questions. Would the last 30 days have been notably better if I had been using this service? And do people care that I am not using this service? If the answer to both is no, do not bring it back into your life. By quitting social media, you reclaim hours of your week and, more importantly, you reclaim your attention span. Rule number 4: drain the shallows. Shallow work is inevitable. You have to answer some emails. You have to attend some meetings. But you must strictly contain it. If you do not control your shallow work, it will expand to fill all of your available time, a phenomenon known as Parkinson's law. The first step to draining the shallows is to schedule every minute of your day. This does not mean you must work every minute. It means you must assign a purpose to every minute. You use a technique called time blocking. At the start of each day, you divide your day into blocks of time. You assign specific tasks to those blocks. If you have a block for shallow work, you do your emails then. If you have a block for deep work, you turn off all notifications and focus. If an unexpected task arises, you adjust the schedule. This forces you to be intentional with your time and makes it glaringly obvious when you are wasting it. Next, you must quantify the depth of every activity. Ask yourself, how long would it take to train a smart recent college graduate with no specialized training in my field to complete this task? If the answer is a few weeks, it is shallow work. If the answer is years, it is deep work. Once you categorize your tasks, you can start to systematically eliminate or minimize the shallow ones. Newport also suggests asking your boss for a shallow work budget. Have a conversation with your manager about what percentage of your time should be spent on shallow tasks. If they say 20%, then you have a mandate to say no to the other shallow tasks that creep into your schedule. You can say, "I am focusing on deep work to hit our quarterly goals, so I cannot attend this meeting." Finally, you must become hard to reach. Do not reply to every email. Do not answer every message. Most emails do not require a response. If an email is vague or poorly structured, do not do the work of figuring out what the sender wants. Reply with a message that puts the burden of organization back on them. Or, simply do not reply. You must protect your time and attention fiercely. People will respect your boundaries if you are consistent and if your deep work produces exceptional results. As we conclude this deep exploration of Cal Newport's deep work, it is vital to understand that this is not just a productivity hack. It is not just a way to get more done in less time. It is a philosophy for living a meaningful life in a distracted world. In a society that constantly pushes us toward the superficial, toward the quick hit of dopamine, toward the shallow and the trivial, choosing to go deep is a radical act. It is a declaration that your attention is valuable, that your cognitive capabilities are worth protecting, and that the work you do matters. Deep work allows you to produce things that are rare and valuable. It allows you to master complex skills. It allows you to achieve a state of flow and psychological fulfillment. But more than that, it allows you to cultivate a deep life. A life where you are not just a passive consumer of information, but an active creator of value. A life where you are fully present, fully engaged, and fully alive. The tools of distraction are not going away. The tech companies will continue to hire thousands of engineers to make their apps more addictive. The culture of instant response will continue to push against you. But you have a choice. You can let your attention be fractured, or you can reclaim it. You can let your potential be diluted by shallow tasks, or you can focus it like a laser beam. The ability to perform deep work is the superpower of the 21st century. It is the key to thriving in the new economy, and the key to finding profound satisfaction in your daily life. The blueprint is here. The rules are clear. The only variable left is your willingness to unplug, to embrace the boredom, and to do the hard, focused work that truly matters. Go forth, protect your attention, and build a life of depth.